Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Adwaita Parakamelam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Sya Om Jnana Timurandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shigurave Nama Gaurva Bhishtam Supurakam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanepanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwa Garurunsha Divyat Bhagavat Premna Vibija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchana Varanam Balarka Chelanchitam Shandananda Puram Sarega Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shivaram Marega Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Manchakopatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyom Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gora Tavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 3, Lord Chaitanya at the house of Adwaita Acharya. So we'll go back a few verses to verse number 20. Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, he wants to go to Vrindavan, but he is so deep in ecstasy, he doesn't know if it's day or night, and Nityananda Prabhu has made a plan to bring Mahaprabhu to the house of Adwaita Acharya. So he has instructed the cowherd boys who are living in that area near the Ganga to, if Mahaprabhu asks which way to Vrindavan, show him the path that goes to the Ganga. So we'll begin with verse number 20. Acharya Ratnere Kohe Nityananda Gosai Shigrajaha Tumi Adwaita Charjaratai. As the Lord proceeded along the bank of the Ganges, Sri Nityananda Prabhu asked Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhar to go immediately to the house of Adwaita Acharya. Prabhu loye jabami tahara mandire sabadane rohenjena now kloyatire. So Adwaita Acharya lives in Shantipur. Sri Nityananda Prabhu told him, I shall take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the bank of the Ganges at Shantipur, and Adwaita Acharya should carefully stay there on the shore with a boat. Tabe Nabadwip tumi Korya Gaman Sachi Sahaloya Aisha Sabhaktagan. After that, Nityananda Prabhu continued, I shall go to Adwaita Acharya's house, and you should go to Nabadwip and return with Mother Sachi and all the other devotees. Pataya Nityananda Mahashai Mahaprabhu Ragyashi Dila Parichai. After sending Acharya Ratna to the house of Adwaita Acharya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu went before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gave notice of his coming. Prabhu Kohe Sripad Tomara Kotake Gaman Sripad Kohe Tomara Sange Ja Brindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in ecstasy, and he asked where Nityananda Prabhu was going. Nityananda replied that he was going with him toward Vrindavan. Prabhu Kohe Katta Dure Ache Brindavan Teho Kohen Kora E Jamuna Darshan. When the Lord asked Nityananda Prabhu how far it was to Vrindavan, Nityananda Prabhu replied, just see, here is the river Jamuna. Etabole Anila Tare Ganga Sanidane Aveshe Prabhu Hoila Gangare Jamuna Gyane. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu took Chaitanya Mahaprabhu near the Ganges, and the Lord in his ecstasy accepted the river Ganges as the river Jamuna. Ahobhagya Jamunare Pailundarshan Etabole Jamunara Koranastavan. The Lord said, "Oh, what good fortune! Now I have seen the river Jamuna." Thus thinking the Ganges to be the river Jamuna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to offer prayers to it. Chidananda Bano Sarananda Shuno Paraprema Patri Drava Brahmagatri Aganam Lavitri Jagad Shemadatri Pavitri Kriyan Novapur Mitra Putri. O river Jamuna, you are the blissful spiritual water that gives love to the son of Nanda Maharaj. You are the same as the water of the spiritual world, for you can vanquish all our offenses and the sinful reactions incurred in life. You are the creator of all auspicious things for the world. O daughter of the sun god, kindly purify us by your pious activities. Etabole namaskore koila ganga snan ekopina nahe dvitiya paridan. After reciting this mantra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances and took his bath in the Ganges. At that time he had on only one piece of underwear, for there was no second garment. Hinakali Acharya Gosai no kate charinya Aila Nutana Kopina Bahirvasa Loya. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was standing there without a second garment, Sri Adwaita Acharya arrived in a boat, bringing with him new underwear and external garments. Bahirvas means like a sannyas dhoti. Age Acharya Ase Rohila Namaskara Kori Acharya Dekit Bole Prabhu Mane Samshaya Kori. When Adwaita Acharya arrived, he stood before the Lord and offered his obeisances. After seeing him, the Lord began to wonder about the entire situation. Tumita Acharya Gosai Etakeni Aila Ami Vrindavane Tumi Kemate Janila. Still in his ecstasy, the Lord asked Adwaita Acharya, "Why did you come here? How did you know I was in Vrindavan?" Acharya Kohe Tumi Jahan Ami Vrindavan Mora Bhagye Gangatire Tomara Agaman. Adwaita Acharya disclosed the whole situation, telling Mahaprabhu, "Wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. Now it is my great fortune that you have come to the bank of the Ganges." Prabhu Kohe Nityananda Mare Banshila Ganga Ke Aniya More Jamuna Kohila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, "Nityananda has cheated me. He has brought me to the bank of the Ganges and told me that it was the Jamuna." Acharya Kohe Mityanahe Sripad Bachan Yamunate Snana Tumi Korila Ekan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accused Nityananda of cheating him, Srila Adwaita Acharya said, "Whatever Nityananda Prabhu has told you is not false. You have indeed just now taken your bath in the river Jamuna. Gangaya Jamuna Bahe Haya Ekdar Paschime Jamuna Bahe Purve Gangas Dar." Adwaita Acharya then explained that at that spot the Ganges and Jamuna flowed together. On the western side was the Jamuna, and on the eastern side was the Ganges. The Ganges and Jamuna mix at the confluence at Allahabad or Prayag. The Jamuna flows from the western side and the Ganges from the eastern, and they merge. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed on the western side. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed on the western side, he actually took his bath in the river Jamuna. So far upstream, the Ganga and the Jamuna flow together. The Jamuna enters from the west and the Ganga enters from the east. But they're down near Shantipur, which is in Bengal, and and Prayaga is far to the north. And so then since the Jamuna enters from the west and Mahaprabhu entered on the western bank of the Ganga, then Adwaita Acharya explained, well, since you weren't bathed on the western side of the Ganga and the Jamuna enters from the west, then you can say we could say you bathe in Jamuna water. Paschima dare Jamuna bahe taha koile snan ardra kopina chari shuka kora paridan. Adwaita Acharya then suggested that since Mahaprabhu had taken his bath in the river Jamuna and his underwear was now wet, the Lord should change his clothes for dry garments. Premaveshi Tina Dina Acha Upavas Ajimora Garibika Chalamora Bash. Adwaita Acharya said, "You've been fasting continuously for 3 days in your ecstasy of love for Krishna. I therefore invite you to my home where you may kindly take your alms. Come with me to my residence." So Adwaita Acharya invited him to come to his residence and take something to eat, since Mahaprabhu, since he took sannyas, was wandering for 3 days in ecstasy and hadn't eaten. Igmushtiana mui korijachon Bak Shukaruka Byanjana Koilun Suparashak. Adwaita Acharya continued, "At my home, I have just cooked 1 palmful of rice. The vegetables are always very simple. There is no luxurious cooking, simply a little liquid vegetable and shak and some spinach. Etabole nam Ekabole nog Charaya Nila Nijagar Para Prakalana Koila Ananda Antar." Saying this, Sri Adwaita Acharya took the Lord into the boat and brought the Lord to his residence. There, Adwaita Acharya washed the feet of the Lord and was consequently very happy within. Pratame Pak Korijachan Acharjani Vishnu Samarpana Koila Acharya Apani. All the eatables were first cooked by the wife of Adwaita Acharya, Sita Takarani. Then Srila Adwaita Acharya personally offered everything to Lord Vishnu. Tin Thai Boga Baraila Samakori Krishnara Boga Baraila Datu Patrapari. All the prepared food was divided into 3 equal parts. 1 part was arranged on a metal plate for offering to Lord Krishna. Bhatisha Atiya Kolar Angatiya Pate Duitai Boga Badaila Balomate. Of the 3 divisions, 1 was arranged on a metal plate and the other 2 were arranged on plantain leaves. These leaves were not bifurcated, so they weren't cut in half, and they were taken from a banana tree that held at least 32 branches of bananas. The 2 plates were filled very nicely with the kinds of food described below. Also, these banana leaf plates were quite big because they were from a mature banana tree. Madhya Pita Grita Shikta Sayanara Stub Charidike Vyanjana Donga Aram Mudga Sub. The cooked rice was a stack of very fine grains, nicely cooked, and in the middle was yellow clarified butter or ghee from the milk of cows. Surrounding the stack of rice were pots made of the skins of banana trees, and in these pots were varieties of vegetables and moong dal. Sadraka, Vastuka, Shak, Vivida, Prakar, Pato, Kushmanda, Bari, Namaskachuar. Among the cooked vegetables were potatoes, squash, manakachu. Manakachu is a root, and a salad made with pieces of ginger and various types of spinach. Chai, maricha, shukta, diya sahafala, male, amrita nindaka, pancha, bira, tikta jale. There was shukta, bitter melon mixed with all kinds of vegetables to find the taste of nectar. There were 5 types of bitter and pungent shuktas. Komala nimba patra saha bhaja vartaki patal fula bori bhaja kushmanda manachaki. Among the various vegetables were newly grown leaves of neem trees fried with eggplant. So that's eggplant cooked with neem leaves. This also can be considered a type of shukta too. The fruit known as porto was fried with fulabari, a kind of dal preparation, first mashed and then dried in the sun. There was also a preparation known as kushmanda manachaki. So fulabari is dal that's like pieces of dal that are cooked in the sun there and mixed with the vegetables. They're very tasty. Narikela, sasya, chaya, sarkara, madhur, mochaganda, dugda, kushmanda, sakala prachur. The preparation made with coconut pulp mixed with curd and rock candy was very sweet. There was a curry made of banana flowers and squashed, boiled in milk, all in great quantity. Madhuramla bora amladi panchachai sakala vyanjana koila loke jata hoy. There were small cakes in sweet and sour sauce and 5 or 6 kinds of sour preparations. All the vegetables were so made that everyone present could take prasadam. So a big quantity was prepared. Mudgabora, kalabora, mashabora, mishta, kirapuli, narikela, jata, pita, ishta. There were soft cakes made with moong dal, soft cakes made with ripe bananas, and soft cakes made with urd dal. There were various kinds of sweetmeats, condensed milk mixed with rice cakes, a coconut preparation, and every kind of cake desirable. Batisha, Atiya, Kalar, Donga, Bora Bora, Chale Hale, Nahi, Donga, Ati Bora Dara. All the vegetables were served in pots made of banana leaves, taken from trees producing at least 32 branches of bananas, very sturdy pots. All the vegetables were served in containers made from banana leaves. These pots were very strong and big and did not tilt or totter. Panchasa, Panchasha, Doga, Vyanjane, Parinya, Teen Bogara, She Pashe, Rohila Darinya. All around the 3 eating places were 100 pots filled with various kinds of vegetables. So to make these pots, and they're strong, the banana leaf is shaped like a pot, and then it's held together with little pieces of like, almost look like toothpicks from twigs that are used to keep the leaves together to form a pot. Shagrita Payasanava Mrit Kundika Barinya Teen Patre Ganavarta Dugda Rakita Darinya. Along with the various vegetables were sweet rice mixed with ghee. This was kept in new earthen pots. Earthen pots filled with highly condensed milk were placed in 3 places. Dugda Chira Kala Ara Dugda Laklaki Jatika Korilataha Kohitena Shaki. Besides the other preparations, there were chip rice made with milk and mixed with bananas, and also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the preparations that were made. So chira says to be chip rice mixed with milk. As chip rice is, devotees have perhaps seen cereals made from wheat flakes like Wheaties and corn flakes also. So the grains are made into flakes. So really, here chira is described as chip rice, but actually it's like rice flakes, and it comes like rice flakes, and then it's washed 3 or 4 times, and then left in water to soften up. Then it becomes soft, and then it's mixed with yogurt or milk. So besides the other preparations, there was this chira made with milk and mixed with bananas, and also white squash boiled in milk. Indeed, it is not possible to describe all the preparations that were made. Dui pashe dori lasab, mrit kundika bari, champakala dari sandesh, kohitena pari. In 2 places there were earthen pots filled with another preparation made with yogurt, sandesh, a sweet meat made from curd. Curd means, in this case, curd cheese, which is milk that's been cut with lemon and then washed and kneaded, and that's fresh curd or fresh cheese made from milk. In 2 places there were earthen pots filled with another preparation made with yogurt, sandesh, a sweet meat made with curd and bananas. I am unable to describe it all. Anavyanjana upare dila tulasi manjari tinjala patre suvasita jalabari. Upon the stack of boiled rice and all the vegetables. Upon the stack of boiled rice and all the vegetables were flowers of the tulsi trees. There were also pots filled with scented rose water. Teen shubra pita tara upare vasan erupe sakat krishne koraila bojan. There were 3 sitting places where soft cloths were placed. Thus Lord Krishna was offered all the food, and the Lord took it very pleasantly. Aratir kali dui prabhu bolaila prabhu sange sabayashi arati dekila. It is a system after offering food to perform Bogarti. Adwaita Prabhu asked the 2 brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, to come see the arti. The 2 lords and all others present went to see the arti ceremony. Arati Koriya Krishna Korala Shayan Acharyasi Prabhure Tabe Koila Nivedan. After arti was performed for the deities in the temple, Lord Krishna was made to lie down to rest. Adwaita Acharya then came out to submit something to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Grihera Bitare Prabhu Koruna Gaman Duibai Aila Tabe Korite Bojan. Sri Adwaita Prabhu said, "My dear Lord, kindly enter this room." The two brothers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, then came forward to take the prasadam. Mukunda Haridas Dui Prabhu Bolaila Jodahate Dui Jana Kohite Lagila. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu went to accept the prasadam, they both called Mukunda and Haridas to come with them. However, Mukunda and Haridas, both with folded hands, spoke as follows. Mukunda kohe mora kichu kritya nahi sare pache mui prasad pamu tumi jahagare. When Mukunda was called, he submitted, "My dear sir, I have something to do that is not yet finished. Later I shall accept the prasadam. So you two Prabhus should now please enter the room." So Mukunda and Haridas offer some excuse for not coming, but Mukunda says, "You and Nityananda Prabhu, you take the prasadam." Haridas kohe mui papishta adama bahire ek mushti pache korimu bojan. Haridas, of course, said, "I am the most sinful and lowest among men. Later I shall eat one palmful of prasadam while waiting outside." So Haridas Thakur is indicating, I'll take the remnants of their lords, of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Dui Prabhu Loya Charja Gela Bitargare Prasada Kiya Prabhu Ananda Antare. Adwaita Acharya took Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with them in the room. Adwaita Acharya took Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within the room, and the two lords saw the arrangement of the prasadam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially was very pleased. Aichayana Jai Krishna Ke Korea Bojan Janmi Janme Shri Darun Tahara Charan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved of all the methods employed in cooking and offering food to Krishna. Indeed, he was so pleased that he said, "Frankly, I will personally take the lotus feet of anyone who can offer Krishna such nice food and place those lotus feet on my head birth after birth." Prabhu Jane Teen Bog Krishna Naivedya Acharya Manakata Nahi Prabhu Rab Vedya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the room, he saw 3 divisions of food, and he knew that all of these were meant for Krishna. However, he did not understand the intentions of Adwaita Acharya. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur states that one of these servings was offered in a metal dish and was meant for Krishna, whereas the other 2 were placed on big banana leaves. Offering on the metal plate was personally offered by Adwaita Acharya to Krishna. The other 2 servings on banana leaves were to be accepted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. That was Adwaita Acharya's intention, but he did not disclose this to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the food offered in 3 places, he thought that all of it was meant for Krishna. Prabhu bole vaishatine koriye bojan acharya kohe ami koriba paribeshan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Let us sit down in these 3 places and we shall take prasadam." However, Adwaita Acharya said, "I shall distribute the prasadam." Konstane basiba ara anaduipat alpakoriani tahe dehovyanjanabat. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought all 3 servings were meant for distribution. Therefore, he asked for another 2 banana leaves, saying, "Let us have a very little quantity of vegetable and rice." Acharya kohe vaishadohe pindera upare etabole hate dori vasaila duhare. Adwaita Acharya said, "Just sit down here on these seats." Catching their hands, he sat them both down. Prabhu kohe sannyasera bhakya nahi upakaran iyakaile kaiche hoy indriya varan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "It is not proper for a sannyasi to eat such a variety of foods. If he does, how can he control his senses?" Acharya kohe chadatumi apanara churi amisab jane tomar sannyasera bari buri. When Mahaprabhu did not accept the food that had already been served, Adwaita Acharya said, "Please give up your concealment. I know what you are, and I know the confidential meaning of your accepting the sannyas order." Bhojana koraha chara vachana chaturi prabhu kohe eta ana kaite na pari. Adwaita Acharya thus requested Mahaprabhu to eat and give up juggling words. The Lord replied, "I certainly cannot eat so much food." Acharya bole akapate koraha ahar jare kaite na parapate rahibe ka'ar. Adwaita Acharya then requested the Lord to simply accept a prasadam without pretense. If he could not eat it all, the balance could be left on the plate. Prabhu bole eta ana narivad kaite sannyasira dharma nahi uchishta rakite. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I will not be able to eat as much food, and it is not the duty of a sannyasi to leave remnants." Acharya bole nila chale kaul choyana bar ekbare anakal shata bar. In this connection, Adwaita Acharya referred to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eating at Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Adwaita Acharya pointed out that at Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu ate 54 times a day, and each time he ate many branches, and each time he ate many hundreds of pots of food. In this connection, Adwaita Acharya referred to Mahaprabhu's eating at Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are identical. Adwaita Acharya pointed out that at Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate 54 times a day, and each time he ate many hundreds of pots of food, because that's offering to Lord Jagannath so many times a day. 54 times a day they offer food to Jagannath, and Adwaita Acharya points out that Mahaprabhu is non-different from Jagannath, so he's indicating that Mahaprabhu eats 54 times a day in Jagannath Puri. Then this is not what he's serving to Mahaprabhu is not such a great quantity. Actually it is, but this is just his argument. Teen janara bhakya pinda tomara ekgras taralekaya e ananahi panchagras. Sri Adwaita Acharya said, the amount of food that 3 people can eat does not constitute even a morsel for you. In proportion to that, these edibles are not even 5 morsels of food for you. So Adwaita Acharya says the amount of food that 3 people can eat does not constitute even a morsel for you. In proportion to that, these edibles are not even 5 morsels of food for you. So if you do the mathematics, you can understand there's enough food on those plates for 15 people. Morabagi Moragare Tomar Agaman Charaha Chaturi Prabhu Oraha Bojan. Adwaita Acharya continued, by my great fortune you have just come to my home. Please do not juggle words, just begin eating and do not talk. Ita bole jao dila dui gosaira hate hasya lagila dohe bojana korite. Upon saying this, Adwaita Acharya supplied water to the two lords so that they could wash their hands. The two lords then sat down and smiling began to eat the prasadam, began to take prasadam. Nityananda kohe koilun teen upavas ajib parana kach karite chilabora ash. Nityananda Prabhu said, I have undergone fasting for 3 days continuously. Today I had hoped to break my fast. Aji upavas hoila charja nimantrane arda petrana bharibe a graseka ane. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking that the quantity of food was enormous, Nityananda Prabhu, on the contrary, thought it not even a morsel. He had been fasting for 3 days and had greatly hoped to break fast on that day. Indeed, he said, although I am invited to eat by Adwaita Acharya, today also is a fast. So small a quantity of food will not even fill half my belly. So Mahaprabhu, it's a huge quantity, but Mahaprabhu is saying that many people cannot eat this quantity of food, but Nityananda is just the opposite. I've been fasting for 3 days and I'm invited to the house of Adwaita Acharya and he doesn't feed me enough to even consider breaking my fast in such a small quantity. Acharya kohe tumihao taitika sannyasi kabu phalam mulakao kabu upavasi. Adwaita Acharya replied, you are a mendicant traveling on pilgrimage. Sometimes you eat fruits and roots, and sometimes you simply go on fasting. Daridra brahmana gare jay paila mushti eka ana iyate santushahau charaloba mana. I am a poor Brahmin and you have come to my home. Please be satisfied with whatever little food you have received and give up your greedy mentality. Nityananda bole jabe koile nimantran shatadite chahajata koriye bojan. This is Nityananda Prabhu and Adwaita Acharya's intimate and humorous relationship. They're always arguing and always criticizing each other in jest. Lord Nityananda Prabhu replied, whatever I may be, you have invited me. Therefore, you must supply me as much as I want to eat. Shuni Nityananda Kata Thakur Adwaita Kohen Tahare Kichu Paya Pirita. His Divine Grace Adwaita Acharya, after hearing the statement of Nityananda Prabhu, took the opportunity presented by the joking words and spoke to him as follows. Brashta vaduta tumi udarabarite sannyas loyacha bhuji brahmana dandite. Adwaita Acharya said, you are a reject Paramahamsa, and you have accepted the renounced order of life just to fill up your belly. I can understand that your business is to give trouble to Brahmins. Tumikete paradasha bisha manera ana amitahat kahapab daridra brahmana. Adwaita Acharya accused Nityananda Prabhu, saying, you can eat 10 to 20 mounds of rice. I'm a poor Brahmin. How shall I get so much rice? A mound is a measurement containing about 4 kilograms. Adwaita Acharya accused Nityananda Prabhu, saying, you can eat 10 to 20 mounds of rice. I'm a poor Brahmin. How shall I get so much rice? So you can eat 40 to 80 kilos of rice. That's like 80 to 150 pounds of rice you can eat. Jay payacha mushta egg ana tahakana uta pagalami nakoria na charao juta. Whatever you have, although it be a palmful of rice, please eat it and get up. Don't show your madness and throw your remnants of food here and there. Emata hasya rase korana bojan arda kana prabhu chadena byanjan. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wait and talk with Adwaita Acharya jokingly. After eating half of each vegetable preparation given to him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu abandoned it and went on to the next. Say Vyanjana Acharya Puna Korana Paran Emata Puna Puna Pariveshe Vyanjan. As soon as half of the vegetable in the pot was finished, Adwaita Acharya filled it up again. In this way, as the Lord finished half of a preparation, Adwaita Acharya again and again filled it up. Dona Vyanjane Bari Korana Prartan Prabhu Bolanara Kata Koriva Bojan. After filling a pot with vegetables, Adwaita Acharya requested them to eat more, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how much more can I go on eating? Acharya Koheje Diachi Tahana Chadiva Ekanan J Diye Tara Ardeka Kaiba. Adwaita Acharya said, please do not give up whatever I have already given you. Now, whatever I am giving you may eat half and leave half. But when he would leave half, then Adwaita Acharya would fill it up again. Nanachatna Doinye Prabhure Koraila Bojan Acharya Icha Prabhu Korila Puran. In this way, by submitting various humble requests, Adwaita Acharya made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda eat. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled all the desires of Adwaita Acharya. Nityananda Kohe Amar Petana Barila Loya Jaha Tor Ana Kichuna Kaila. Again, Nityananda Prabhu jokingly said, my belly is not yet filled up. Please take away your food. I have not taken the least of it. Etabole egrasa bata hate loya ujali felila age jena kruda hoya. After saying this, Nityananda Prabhu took a handful of rice and threw it on the floor in front of him as if he were angry. Bata dui chari lage acharjara ange bata ange loya charja nahe bahurange. When 2 to 4 grains of the thrown rice touched his body, Adwaita Acharya began to dance in various ways with the rice still stuck to his body. Avaduter juta lagila mora ange parama pavitram more kaila e dange. When the rice thrown by Nityananda touched his body, Adwaita Acharya thought himself purified by the touch of remnants thrown by Paramahamsa Nityananda. Thus he began dancing. So it's mentioned here, this juta. Juta is a word that means food that has been eaten or touched. When food or prasadam is juta, said to be juta, then it's like partially eaten food. Nobody will take that. But Nityananda Prabhu has taken that food from his plate and thrown it on the floor, and some of the rice has stuck to the body of it. Adwaita Acharya. And Adwaita Acharya began dancing. Tarini mantrana kori, painu tarafal, Tora jati kula nahi, sahaje bagal. Adwaita Acharya jokingly said, "My dear Nityananda, I invited you, and indeed I have received the results. You have no fixed caste or dynasty. By nature you are a madman. Apanara samamore, koribara tare, juta dile viprabole, vaina korile. To make me a madman like yourself, you have thrown the remnants of your touch food at me. You did not even fear the fact that I am a Brahmin." Nityananda bole Krishnara prasad, ihake juta kahile tumi kaile aparad. Nityananda Prabhu replied, "These are the remnants of food left by Lord Krishna. If you take them to be ordinary remnants, you have committed an offense. This is my prasadam. It can't be contaminated. If you talk like this, that it's like contaminated because it's from my pot, you're making an offense to the prasadam." So Nityananda Prabhu replied, "These are the remnants of food left by Lord Krishna. If you take them to be ordinary remnants, you have committed an offense." And he's also saying that prasadam can't be contaminated. In the highest sense, that's true. But normally, something that has been half eaten by somebody will be discarded. Shateka sannyasi chari, koraha bojan, tavi e aparad, hoibe kandan. Srila Nityananda Prabhu continued, "If you invite at least 100 sannyasis to your home and feed them sumptuously, your offense will be nullified. Acharya kohe na koriba sannyasi nimantran, sannyasi na shila mora, sab smriti dharma." Adwaita Acharya replied, "I shall never again invite another sannyasi, for it is a sannyasi who has spoiled all my Brahminical smriti regulations." Itaboli duijane korela achaman Uttama Shayate Loya Korela Shayan. After this, Adwaita Acharya made the lords wash their hands and mouths. He took them to a nice bed and made them lie down to take rest. Lavanga Elachi Bij, Uttama Rasabas, Tulasi Manjari Saha, Dila Mukabas. Sri Adwaita Acharya fed the two lords cloves and cardamom mixed with tulasi flowers. Thus there was a good flavor within their mouths. This is taken after the meal. Sugandhe Chandane Lipta Koila Kolivar Sugandhe Pushpa Mala Anidila Hridayupar. Sri Adwaita Acharya then smeared the bodies of the lords with sandalwood pulp and then placed very fragrant flower garlands on their chests. Acharya Korite Chahe Paras Sambahan Sankuchita Hoya Prabhu Bolena Bachan. When the Lord lay down on the bed, Adwaita Acharya waited to massage his legs, but the Lord was very hesitant and spoke as follows to Adwaita Acharya. Bahuta Nachaile Tumi Chara Nachana Mukunda Haridas Loya Koraha Bojan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Adwaita Acharya, you have made me dance in various ways. Now give up this practice. Go with Mukunda and Haridas and accept your lunch." Tabita Acharya Sangi Loya Duijani Korila Chai Bojan Jai Achilamani. Thereupon Adwaita Acharya took prasadam with Mukunda and Haridas, and they all wholeheartedly ate as much as they desired. Shantipurer Lok Shuni Prabhu Ragaman Dekite Aila Lok Prabhu Racharan. When the people of Shantipur heard that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was eating there, they all immediately came to see his lotus feet. Hari Hari Bole Lok Anandita Haya Chamatkara Paila Prabhu Sodarya Lakiya, being very pleased, all the people loudly began to shout the holy name of the Lord, Hari Hari. Indeed, they became struck with wonder upon seeing the beauty of the Lord. Goradeho Kanti Surya Jhaniya Ujwal Aruna Bastra Kanti Tahe Korejalamal. They saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very fair complexioned body and its bright luster, which conquered the brilliance of the sun. Over and above this was the beauty of the saffron garments that glittered upon his body. Aise Jai Lok Harshe Nahi Samadan Lokera Sangate Din Hoila Avasan. People came and went with great pleasure. There was no calculating how many people assembled there before the day was over. Sannyate Acharya Rambila Sankirtan Acharya Nachana Prabhu Korana Darshan. As soon as it was evening, Adwaita Acharya began the congregational chanting. He even began to dance himself, and the Lord saw the performance. So, stop here. Tomorrow we can continue. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hari Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Mananamohan Giridhari Gopinatha Mananamohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Adwaita Acharya Dharadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Dharadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Charupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunan Charupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunan Sri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raghunan Sri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Raghunan Echai Gosai Kori Charanamanan Echai Gosai Kori Charanamanan Jaite Vignana Shabishta Puran Jaite Vignana Shabishta Puran Echai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Echai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Kasavar Padarenu Mora Panchagras Kasavar Padarenu Mora Panchagras Pada Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Pada Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Janame More Abhilas Janame More Abhilas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjai Narottam Das, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe, Narottam Das, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai sa parikara shishi guru guranga gandharvika giridhari ju ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neri Maharaj ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Prem Se Go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adwaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Jayom Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Sri Nabadwip Dham ki jai. Sri Mayapur ki jai. Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Kaladvip ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki jai. Ganga Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radhakunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai. Shri Purushottam Madam ki jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Jo ki jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shrina Sringadev ki jai. Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Kartik Vrata ki jai. Shri Damodar Vrata ki jai. Shri Niyama Seva ki jai. Shri Urja Vrata ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol.
Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.